Instead, we have the opportunity to make a habit of empathy, to recognize ourselves in each other.
My name is Art Geiser. I'm the developer of Energetic NLP, which is a synthesis of energetic healing techniques, intuition development, spiritual processes with NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. And I was lucky enough many years ago to have as my mentor Leslie Cameron Bandler, one of the developers of NLP, and her real specialty was looking at emotions and the structure of emotions. And one of the things that we found that allowed people to really do empathy in a way that was wonderful for them and for the other person is they had the ability to temporarily really step inside the other person's experience. Not as themselves, but really step in and what's it like. So if I was doing it with a woman, not what's it like for me to be in her situation, but what would it be like if I was a woman in that situation, and stepping into it until I go, now I understand, then coming back and being me and being able to relate to her in a way that has that understanding of her experience, but still back from me. And I'm coming back to my own understandings when I do it. And we found that people who can do that, it makes empathy something that's a great tool for relationships, but it also has that healthy aspect because you neither take on the other person's problems and you don't do the opposite, going, oh, I have to put a wall up because I'm going to fall into your emotion. It allows you to flow back and forth in a very wonderful and safe way.
I'm Lucy Friedman, and I work with Art and Energetic NLP and have been studying neuro-linguistics for a long time. And one of the things about the structure of empathy is that there's a difference between empathy and sympathy, and there's a difference between empathy and saying me too. Because me too doesn't really connect with the other person and give them the understanding that you're with them. What I like about the structure of healthy empathy is it's not so much like sympathy where you kind of go into feeling the same feeling as the other person, but it's the ability to be present with somebody, get what's going on for them, and not try to take it over or compete with it. And that to me is the real value of empathy, of presence with somebody else.
My name is Hendricks Castro, and I represent Neurovision Academy. We teach neurolinguistic programming, we teach hypnosis, as well as the Bronikoff method. So the question is, how does this connect to empathy? Well, first and foremost, in neurolinguistic programming, you tune in. The whole idea, the primary purpose is to tune in to the receiver. Tune into the student, tune into the teacher, tune into either a group of people, find out what their communication levels are. They may be kinesthetic, they may be audio digital, they may be visual. So really identifying what communication style a person has. How do they receive information best? And in that discovery process, developing and connecting with another human being is in fact what I believe a form or an expression of empathy.
Hi, my name is Mike Ratner, also known as Jivanmukti in some spiritual circles, and I'm one of the founders for the Spirit College. And having empathy and listening is really an important facet to this work. I'm a big believer in what's called self-liberation. I tend to see a lot of people in what I call the mass trance out there, where they're distracted by problems and distractions of television and media messages, and we're not really listening to each other, and sometimes we have to go beyond the trivia. So I like to look at this starting off what I call having a great relationship tie with someone, to have permission, a karma-free tie, and that's TIE. So the first thing to engage anyone in any conversation would be to first ask permission for their time. If the person says, I got to be at the airport in 5 minutes, and you're not helping them get there, you're just taking away their time. It's actually time theft. So that's not really quite right. The person says, hey, I'd love to talk to you right now. Then they ask 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or if it's not a good time, try to schedule it. Getting beyond time, you want to find out what their interest level is. That's the I and the time. Is this of interest to you? Is this information helpful? And if it's not, then find out what's interesting to them and then just talk about what they're interested in. Otherwise, to engage somebody in something that they're not interested in is just not a good way to go. You're not going to really get their attention anyway. And you're forcing them to listen to something that they're not even going to really consider. The best way I find to have compassionate listening, to be empathetic, is to really be attuned to the person and have rapport. And have rapport is to sort of engage them by how you're being present to them. So if I'm looking eye to eye to you, if I'm being relaxed and your shoulders are relaxed and I'm breathing sympathetically to you, I'll have much more level of empathy. In neurolinguistic programming, NLP, it's a very important concept. Also what they call trans-state technology. To get someone to relate with you, you might want to sort of talk on their level, the same pace. If I'm talking really fast and you're talking slow, we're not really going to engage. Yeah, mirror and matching is very important, yeah. So if you're doing gestures, I might do some gestures. I'm not mimicking you. It's simply making you comfortable in your world, and that way you're feeling welcome.
See the world through other people's eyes. Now, empathy is a quality of character that can change the world.